I adjust the navy dress one more time, smoothing down the fabric over my hips. 50. 2 looks back at me from the mirror, and honestly, I don't hate what I see. A few more lines around my eyes, sure, but they're laugh lines. 30 years of marriage will do that to you. Diana, honey, the caterers need you. Patricia's voice floats up the stairs. I take one last look. Tonight's going to be perfect. I can feel it. Downstairs, our backyard has transformed into something from a magazine. White roses everywhere, twinkling lights strung between the trees, and a string quartet setting up near the gazebo. The same song they played at our wedding is drifting through the evening air. Pat, can you believe it? I grab my best friend's hand as she fusses with a centerpiece. 30 years? I can't believe you still look at him like you did in college. Patricia grins at me. Some days it feels like yesterday, right? And other days it feels like we've been together forever. I spot Robert across the yard in his tailored suit, talking to the caterer. My heart still does that little flutter thing when I see him. 60 years old and still so handsome. Emma rushes over, radiant in her green dress. Mom, the photographer wants family pictures before everyone arrives. You look beautiful, sweetheart. I hug my daughter tight. 28 years old, and she planned this entire party. Thank you for doing all this. Anything for you and Dad. She squeezes back, but there's something in her voice, a tightness I can't place. Michael arrives with Jessica, and I practically run to them. You made it. Wouldn't miss it, Mom. My son wraps me in a bear hug. 25 and still my baby. Seattle to here in 4 hours. New record. Jessica kisses my cheek. Happy anniversary, Diana. The guests start arriving. Neighbors, old friends, people from church, Robert's business partners. My sister Claire shows up with her husband Tom, and even Marcus, Robert's younger brother, who I've never quite warmed to, appears with an expensive bottle of champagne. For the happy couple, Marcus's smile doesn't quite reach his eyes. Thank you, Marcus. I take the bottle, trying to ignore the odd feeling in my stomach. Robert finds me in the crowd, takes my hand, squeezes it, having fun. It's perfect, but when I look into his eyes, I see something I've never seen before. Nervousness, fear, you okay? Just emotional. He kisses my forehead. 30 years is a long time. The party flows around us like a river. Gregory, Robert's business partner for 25 years, keeps shooting him looks I don't understand. Vanessa, his secretary, congratulates me but won't meet my eyes. Even Emma seems anxious, checking on me every 5 minutes. Di, you seem tense. Patricia pulls me aside during dinner. Everything all right. Just hosting stress. I laugh it off, but my hands are shaking. Robert stands to give a speech. The backyard falls silent. The quartet stops playing. Thank you all for being here tonight. His voice is steady at first. Diana and I have been blessed with 30 incredible years together. We've built a life, raised 2 amazing children, and his voice cracks, changes, becomes something heavier, darker. There's something I need to say tonight, something I should have said a long time ago. My stomach drops like an elevator with cut cables. Patricia grabs my hand under the table. Emma's face drains of color. Michael leans forward, confused. What is happening? Diana, I love you. Robert's hands are shaking. I need you to remember that, no matter what I'm about to say. I can't breathe. The entire backyard has gone silent. Even the wind seems to have stopped. 30 years ago, when we got married, I made a choice. Tears stream down his face. I've never seen him cry like this. A terrible choice that I've lived with every single day since. Robert, what are you talking about? My voice sounds far away. He pulls out a folded piece of paper from his jacket pocket. His hands tremble so badly, he almost drops it. The business that supported our family, that paid for our home, Emma's college, Michael's education, all our vacations, It wasn't built honestly. The world tilts. For the past 30 years, I've been embezzling money from clients through fraudulent investments. Millions of dollars, Diana. Millions. Someone gasps. I think it might be me. That's not possible. I'm standing now, though I don't remember getting up. You're a financial advisor. You help people. I stole from them. His voice breaks completely. I've been running a Ponzi scheme for 3 decades. The words hit me like physical blows. Around me, people are murmuring, gasping, standing up. I see faces I've known for years staring at me with shock and horror. The FBI has been investigating for 6 months. Robert looks at Gregory, who won't meet his eyes. Gregory has been helping them build a case against me in exchange for immunity. What? The word comes out as a whisper. Tomorrow morning, they're coming to arrest me. I'll be going to prison, probably for 15 to 20 years. He's sobbing now, openly in front of everyone we know. Everything we have, the house, the savings, the investments, it's all going to be seized. Everything, Diana, I've destroyed us. Michael is on his feet, his face red. Dad, what the hell are you? But Robert holds up his hand, and there's more. How could there possibly be more? He looks at Emma, and my daughter starts crying. Not surprised, crying. Guilty crying, Emma knows. She's known for 2 years. I begged her not to tell you because I was a coward. I couldn't bear to see you look at me the way you're looking at me now. I turned to Emma. My daughter, my firstborn, the girl I raised, who I taught to ride a bike, who I stayed up with during nightmares, who I loved more than my own life. Emma, my voice breaks on her name. Mom, she's sobbing, reaching for me. You knew. The betrayal cuts deeper than anything Robert said. For 2 years. I'm so sorry. You knew and you let me plan this party. You helped me plan it. I'm screaming now. I don't care who hears. You let me celebrate a lie. Patricia is screaming at Robert. Michael lunges toward his father, and Gregory has to hold him back. Guests are standing, some leaving, some staring in horrified fascination. I just stand there, frozen, as my entire life crumbles around me like a house made of cards. I don't remember how the party ended. Patricia tells me later that she cleared everyone out, that Emma sat beside me, trying to hold my hand, but I couldn't even look at her. That Michael broke down crying, saying he had no idea, that Robert stood there like a statue, having finally unburdened himself of 30 years of lies. Now it's 2 a.m. I'm sitting alone in my living room, still in my anniversary dress. The house is silent. Outside I can see the white roses still hanging in the trees, the twinkling lights still glowing, evidence of a celebration that ended in destruction. Robert appears in the doorway. He approaches cautiously, like I'm a wild animal that might bolt. Diana, please, say something, yell at me, hit me, anything. I find my voice. It sounds like it belongs to someone else, cold, hollow, dead. Why tonight, of all the days, all the years, why did you choose our anniversary party to destroy me in front of everyone we know? He sinks into the chair across from me. Because I'm a coward, because I thought if I did it publicly, I couldn't take it back. I couldn't keep lying to you for one more day. The guilt was killing me, Diana. Every time you looked at me with love, with trust, it was like a knife in my chest. Your guilt. I laugh, and it's an ugly sound. You felt guilty. You've had 30 years to tell me the truth, Robert. 30 years. I know. Did you think about my guilt? The guilt I'll feel when everyone we know realizes I lived off stolen money. When our children have to face the shame of having a criminal father. When I have to explain to everyone that I was either a fool or complicit. Diana, don't. I hold up my hand. Don't say my name like that. Like you still have the right to say it with love. Emma appears in the doorway. Her makeup is smeared, her green dress wrinkled. Mom, please don't. The word comes out sharp as a knife. Don't you dare, Emma. I was trying to protect you. Protect me. I'm on my feet now, shaking with rage. You let me live in a lie for 2 years. You let me plan this party, spend money that wasn't ours. Celebrate a marriage that was built on fraud. Dad said he was trying to fix it, that he was going to make it right. There is no making this right. I'm screaming again. There is no fixing 30 years of lies. There is no undoing what he's done to this family. Emmer reaches for me. I step back. You chose him over me. You kept his secret. You're as guilty as he is. Mom, get out. My voice is cold. Final. Both of you get out of my sight. They leave. I sit back down on the couch, still in my navy dress, and I don't move until the sun comes up. I wake up on the couch for one blissful second. I think it was all a nightmare. Then I hear voices in the kitchen. Robert's and someone else's. A man's voice I don't recognize. I walk in to find Robert sitting at our kitchen table with a sharp-looking man in an expensive suit. Diana, this is David Chen, my lawyer. David stands, extends his hand. I don't take it. Mrs. Matthews, I'm here to explain what happens next. What happens next? I repeat. My voice sounds strange, businesslike. I'm in shock, moving through motions. The arrest, the arraignment, the seizure of assets. David's tone is professional, kind even. I need you to understand the full scope of this situation. The government will freeze all accounts, including your personal checking and savings. The house will be evaluated and likely sold to compensate victims. Your retirement accounts, investment portfolios, everything tied to your husband's business dealings will be scrutinized. Each word is another nail in the coffin of my old life. What about things that are just in my name? I ask. David exchanges a look with Robert. Unfortunately, because you're married and filed joint tax returns, very little will be protected. They'll argue that marital assets benefited from the criminal enterprise. I married Robert when I was 22, fresh out of college with a teaching degree. I worked for 5 years before Emma was born, then became a stay-at-home mother because Robert insisted we could afford it. 25 years without a job, no independent credit history, no recent work experience, no personal savings that aren't tainted by his crimes. What am I supposed to do? I whisper. Where am I supposed to go? The front door opens. Michael and Jessica rush in. My son's eyes are red from crying. Mom, you're coming to Seattle with us. We'll figure this out together. But I see the look on Jessica's face. The forced smile, the discomfort. They're engaged, planning a life together. They don't need this burden. Michael, I can't. You're not staying here. Patricia appears, pushing past Robert like he doesn't exist. She's brought coffee and bagels, as if breakfast will somehow help. You're staying with me, however long it takes. My phone rings. It's Claire, my sister. Oh, Diana. Her voice drips with barely concealed satisfaction. I always wondered how Robert could afford everything on a financial advisor's salary. I guess now we know. The cruelty in her words stuns me into silence. Claire's always been jealous of your perfect life. Patricia mutters, taking the phone from my hand and hanging up. I look around the kitchen, my kitchen, the marble countertops Robert picked out, the expensive appliances, the custom cabinets, all of it bought with stolen money. I'm going to be sick. The FBI arrives at exactly 10 a.m., just like Robert said they would. I watch from the window as they put handcuffs on my husband, the man I've loved for 30 years, the man I thought I knew. They lead him to an unmarked car, while Mrs. Henderson from next door has her phone out, recording everything. Diana, we need to go. Patricia grabs my arm. The reporters will be here soon. Reporters, honey, this is going to be everywhere. She's right. By noon, it's on social media. By evening, it's on the local news. I watch from Patricia's condo as a polished news anchor says, local financial advisor Robert Matthews arrested for massive fraud scheme affecting dozens of families. My phone won't stop ringing. I turn it off. Over the next week, I learn the full extent of Robert's crimes. They're calling it a long, term affinity fraud scheme. He targeted people from our church, our social circles, people who trusted him because he was charming, friendly, successful. He promised high returns, provided fake statements showing steady growth, and used new investments to pay returns to older investors. A Ponzi scheme hidden behind the facade of legitimate wealth management. Mrs. Patterson is interviewed on the news. She's a widow from our church who I've known for 15 years. She's crying as she speaks. I lost my entire life savings, $380,000 that my late husband left me. Her voice breaks. I trusted Robert because I trusted Diana. She was always so kind at church events. I thought they were good Christian people. That's when the full weight hits me. People didn't just trust Robert. They trusted us. Our marriage, our family, our public image was part of the con, even though I knew nothing about it. The hate mail starts. Someone throws a brick through Patricia's front window with a note. Thief. My Facebook is flooded with angry messages. Emma's social media accounts are attacked. Someone creates a fake profile using my pictures and posts it on a fraud awareness website. Mom, Michael's voice on the phone is tight. Jessica's parents are. They're worried about the scandal affecting their family. Her father is a partner at a law firm. What are you saying? They're suggesting we postpone the wedding. My son's wedding is being destroyed because of his father's crimes. Michael, I'm so sorry. It's not your fault, Mom. It's his. But I can hear the anger in his voice. The shame, the pain. I destroyed his life too, just by being Robert's wife. Robert's arraignment is a media circus. I attend because David says it looks better if I do. Shows I'm standing by him, but I'm not standing by him. I'm standing in the wreckage he created, trying to understand how I didn't see the signs. The courtroom is packed. I see them, the victims, dozens of people who lost everything. Mr. Chen, who lost his small business savings. The Morrison family, whose daughter had to drop out of college. Mrs. Patterson, who can't even look at me. All of them stare at me with hatred. I don't blame them. The prosecution lays out the charges: wire fraud, mail fraud, securities fraud, money laundering. The evidence is overwhelming. Fake account statements, forged documents, shell companies, 3 decades of systematic theft. Robert's lawyer advises him to plead guilty in hopes of a reduced sentence. 15 to 20 years becomes 12 to 18 with good behavior. David whispers to me. Robert is denied bail. Flight risk, they say. As they lead him away in handcuffs, he looks back at me one last time. I feel nothing, no anger, no sadness, no lingering love, just emptiness where he used to live in my heart. Outside the courthouse, Emma is waiting. She approaches cautiously. Mom, you can't just shut me out forever. I'm your daughter. You're his daughter, I say coldly. You chose him over me. I was trying to give him a chance to fix it. He promised he would. He's been lying for 30 years, Emma. Did you really think he'd suddenly become honest? The words are harsh, but they're true. Or did you just not want your comfortable life disrupted? Emma's face crumbles. I was scared, Mom. I didn't know what to do. When I found out, I was paralyzed. Every day I wanted to tell you, but I didn't know how. You could have started with the truth. I turn away from her. That's all I ever wanted. The truth. She tries to follow me, but Patricia steps between us. Give her space, Emma. Back at Patricia's condo, I collapse on her couch. What am I going to do, Pat? I'm 50, 2 years old with no job, no money, no home, and a last name that's now synonymous with fraud. Patricia sits beside me, takes my hand. You're going to survive, Diana, because that's what we do. We survive. But I'm not sure I believe her. A week later, my phone rings. Unknown number. Mrs. Matthews. The voice is familiar. It's Vanessa, Robert's secretary. I don't want to talk to you. Please, I need to tell you something. Something that's not in the criminal case but that you deserve to know. Against my better judgment, I agree to meet her. The coffee shop is far from my neighborhood. Vanessa looks exhausted when she arrives. Older than I remember. Mrs. Matthews, She slides an envelope across the table. I'm so sorry. Inside are photos. Robert with a woman I don't recognize. At restaurants, hotels, walking hand in hand. The dates on the photos span years. 5 years. Her name is Michelle Torres. Vanessa says quietly, she was a client initially. The affair started about 5 years ago. He set her up in an apartment in the city, paid her bills, bought her gifts, all with stolen money. I stare at the photos. I feel oddly detached, as if I'm looking at pictures of a stranger's life. Why are you telling me this? Because he doesn't deserve your sympathy or your loyalty. Vanessa's voice is fierce. During the investigation, when everything was falling apart, I heard him on the phone with his lawyer. He was trying to find ways to hide assets in your name. He was willing to make you criminally liable to protect himself. David shut it down, said it would never work, but Robert was willing to try. The betrayal has layers. It's not just the fraud, not just the lies, not just involving Emma in his deception. He was willing to destroy me completely to save himself. There's more. Vanessa takes a shaky breath. Michelle has been calling the office since the arrest. She's pregnant, 4 months along. The world tilts. I grip the table to steady myself. A pregnant mistress, of course there's a pregnant mistress. I'm telling you this because you need to know what you're dealing with, Vanessa says. And because I'm sorry. I should have told you years ago about all of it, but I was afraid of losing my job. I chose my security over your truth, and I'll regret that forever. After she leaves, I sit in the coffee shop for an hour, unable to move, unable to think. 5 years. He'd been with someone else for 5 years, while I planned anniversaries and family dinners, while I believed we were happy, while I believed he loved me. I spend 3 days in bed after Vanessa's revelation. Patricia brings me food. I don't eat. Water I don't drink. Emma tries calling. I don't answer. Michael flies back to Seattle without saying goodbye. Jessica's parents have made their position clear. The wedding is postponed indefinitely. On the 4th day, Patricia sits on the edge of my bed. Diana, I love you, but this pity party ends now. Patton. I know you're devastated. I know your world has imploded. But you have a choice. You can let Robert's destruction define the rest of your life, or you can fight back. Fight back? How? I have nothing. I am nothing. That's not true, and you know it. Patricia's voice is firm. You have a teaching degree, you have a brain, you have strength you haven't even tapped into yet. Robert took a lot from you, but he didn't take who you are at your core. I think about this. Who am I without Robert? Without the beautiful house, the social status, the identity of being Mrs. Matthews? I realize I don't know. I've been Robert's wife for so long that I've forgotten Diana ever existed. That afternoon, I force myself to shower, to dress, to look in the mirror. The woman staring back at me looks older. Tired, broken, but she's still there. I'm still here. Pat, can you help me with something? Anything. I need to update my resume. She grins. Now you're talking. The school district I used to work for has open positions. I'd need to renew my teaching certificate, take some continuing education courses, but it's possible. Then I do something that surprises even me. I call David Chen. I want to file for divorce. There's a pause. Mrs. Matthews, are you sure? I need to legally separate myself from his crimes, from his debts, from his chaos. Can you help me? I'll connect you with someone who specializes in cases like this. That someone is Rebecca Torres, no relation to Michelle, thankfully. She's sharp, professional, and doesn't judge me. The timing actually helps you. Rebecca explains. We can argue that you were a victim of his crimes too. that you had no knowledge of his activities and shouldn't be held financially responsible for his restitution payments. When Emma finds out I've filed for divorce, she shows up at Patricia's door, furious. How can you abandon Dad when he needs you most? Abandon him? I stare at my daughter incredulously. Emma, he abandoned me 30 years ago when he decided to build our life on lies and stolen money. He abandoned you and Michael when he chose to commit crimes that would destroy your futures. And he abandoned all of us when he had an affair and got another woman pregnant. Emma's face goes white. What? No, that's not. That can't be true. Her name is Michelle Torres. She's 4 months pregnant. Ask him yourself during visiting hours. I closed the door in her face. 2 weeks later, unknown number, again. Mrs. Matthews, it's Gregory, Robert's former best friend. The man who turned state's evidence. I know you probably hate me, but I need to talk to you. There are things you should know. We meet at a park. Neutral territory. Gregory looks like he's aged 10 years. The guilt is eating him alive. I didn't know about the fraud until 6 months ago. He starts. I know that's hard to believe, but Robert kept separate books. When I discovered the truth, I went to the FBI because I couldn't be part of it. Why are you telling me this? Because there's something else about Emma. He takes a deep breath. She didn't just know for 2 years, Diana. She was involved. My blood runs cold. What do you mean, involved? 2 years ago, she needed money. Her startup company was failing. She went to Robert for help. He told her the truth about where the money really came from and offered her a choice. He could invest in her company, make her problems disappear, but she'd have to keep his secret and help him keep up appearances. No, I shake my head. Emma wouldn't? He gave her $200,000, Diana. Her company didn't fail. It's actually doing quite well now. She knew the money was stolen. She took it anyway, and then she helped him maintain the lie, because if you found out, if everything collapsed, she'd lose everything too. The betrayal goes deeper than I imagined. My daughter didn't just keep Robert's secret. She benefited from his crimes. She became complicit. The prosecution is looking at whether Emma should face charges as an accessory. Gregory continues, I thought you should know before it becomes public. After he leaves, I sit on the park bench for an hour. Birds chirp, children play. The world continues as if mine hasn't just ended again. That evening, I drive to Emma's apartment. The luxury apartment I now know was funded by stolen money. She opens the door with a smile that fades when she sees my face. Is it true? I ask. The $200,000, you knew where it came from. Emma's face crumbles. She doesn't even try to lie. Mom, I was desperate. My company was going under, and I had investors, people who believed in me. I couldn't let them down. So instead, you helped your father steal from innocent people. People like Mrs. Patterson, who lost her entire life savings. I told myself it was different. Dad said he was going to fix everything, that he had a plan. There was no plan, Emma. There was never going to be a way to fix 30 years of fraud. I'm yelling now. You chose money over integrity. You chose your company over your mother. You chose to let me live in a lie while you benefited from the same crimes that are destroying our family. I'm your daughter, Emma screams. I'm your child and you're abandoning me. No, I say, my voice is cold, final. You abandoned yourself when you made that choice. I don't know who you are anymore, Emma. I don't know if I ever did. I leave her apartment and don't look back. 3 months later, I'm starting to build something that resembles a life. The online courses are harder than I expected, but I'm doing it, renewing my teaching certificate, learning new curriculum standards, remembering why I loved teaching in the first place. I've taken a part-time job at a bookstore, minimum wage, but it's mine, earned honestly. I've moved into a small studio apartment, nothing like the 4-bedroom house I lost, but it's clean and paid for by Patricia's generosity until I can afford rent on my own. The divorce is progressing. Robert signed the papers without contest. Maybe it's his way of trying to make amends. Maybe he just doesn't have any fight left. His sentencing hearing is scheduled for next month. Michael has reached out cautiously. He and Jessica decided to continue with the wedding. Small, immediate family only. I'm invited, but Emma isn't. Michael tells me she's facing potential charges as an accessory. Michael, I'm sorry. It's not your fault, Mom. His voice is softer now, gentler. You were trying to survive. I didn't abandon the family. I tell him I survived the family that abandoned me first. I know, he says. I'm beginning to understand. Patricia has been my salvation. She's never once said, I told you so. Even though I know she never fully trusted Robert. One day at the bookstore, a woman approaches me. She's one of Robert's victims. I recognize her from the courtroom. My stomach drops. Mrs. Matthews, I just wanted to tell you that I read your interview. The previous week, I'd done something terrifying. I agreed to an interview with a local reporter covering the case. I told my story, clarified that I knew nothing about the fraud, explained that I was as much a victim as anyone else. I apologized to everyone who lost money, acknowledged that my ignorance didn't erase the pain caused by crimes that funded my life. Your words meant something. The woman continues, I was angry at you at first, but I realize now that you lost everything too. Maybe not money, but your whole life, your identity. I just wanted you to know I don't blame you anymore. After she leaves, I cry in the bookstore bathroom for 20 minutes. It's the first genuine moment of grace I've experienced since the anniversary party. Robert's sentencing day arrives. The courtroom is packed with victims, reporters, and the curious. Emma sits on the other side of the room. Her own legal issues are still pending, but she's here for her father. Michael sits beside me. His hand grips mine. One by one, victims give impact statements. Mrs. Patterson, now living with her daughter because she lost her home. Mr. Chen, whose small business went bankrupt. The Morrison family, whose daughter had to drop out of college. Their pain is real, deep, devastating, and Robert caused all of it. When it's Robert's turn to speak, he stands. He looks smaller somehow, diminished. There are no words to express the depth of my remorse. He reads from a prepared statement. His voice shakes. I destroyed lives, including my own family's. I betrayed the trust of people who believed in me. I lied to my wife for 30 years. I corrupted my own daughter by involving her in my crimes. I am responsible for all of this pain, and I accept full accountability for my actions. He turns to look directly at me. Diana, I know you'll never forgive me, and you shouldn't. But I need you to know that my love for you was real. The life we built was based on lies, but what I felt for you was never a lie. That doesn't excuse anything. It doesn't change anything. But it's the truth. I feel nothing. No anger, no sadness, no lingering love. Just emptiness where he used to live in my heart. The judge sentences him to 16 years in federal prison. Restitution payments that will follow him for the rest of his life. Money he'll never be able to fully repay. As they lead him away, Emma breaks down sobbing. I sit perfectly still. Outside the courthouse, reporters swarm us. I give a brief statement, one I prepared with Rebecca. Justice has been served today. I hope this brings some closure to the victims. My focus now is on rebuilding my life and moving forward. Later that day, Agent Sarah Martinez calls, the FBI agent who led the investigation. Mrs. Matthews, I wanted to let you know that after extensive investigation, we've found no evidence that you had any knowledge of or involvement in your husband's crimes. You're officially cleared of any potential charges. The relief is overwhelming. I'm not just his victim in my own mind. I'm officially recognized as such. It matters more than I expected it to. It's been a year since the anniversary party that destroyed my old life and gave me a new one. I'm teaching again, 8th grade English at a public school in the district. The kids don't know my story, don't care about my past. To them, I'm just a mess. Matthews, I took back my maiden name. A teacher who's pretty cool and actually seems to care, because I do care about them, about myself, about the life I'm building. I'm living in a small 2-bedroom apartment now, One I can afford on my own salary. It's not fancy, but it's mine. Every piece of furniture I bought myself, every dish, every picture on the wall represents something I earned honestly. Michael got married last month. The wedding was small but beautiful. Jessica's parents eventually came around, realizing that Michael was not his father, that punishing him for Robert's crimes was unfair. I cried happy tears for the first time in over a year. Emma is serving 3 years of probation for her role as an accessory. She avoided prison time by cooperating with investigators and showing genuine remorse. Her company collapsed, and she's had to rebuild from scratch. We're slowly, carefully rebuilding our relationship. 2. It will never be what it was. The trust is shattered, but maybe we can build something new, something more honest. She called me last week. Mom, I'm sorry. For all of it. I know I can't take it back, but I'm sorry. I told her I forgive her, and I meant it, not because what she did was okay, but because holding on to anger was only hurting me. I haven't visited Robert in prison. I don't plan to. That chapter of my life is closed. I heard through his lawyer that Michelle had the baby, a girl. Robert will never meet her from outside prison walls. That's his consequence to bear. Patricia and I have dinner every Sunday. She helped me survive the darkest period of my life. I'll never forget that. True friends reveal themselves in crisis. Last week, one of my students wrote an essay about resilience. She wrote, "My teacher says that being strong doesn't mean nothing breaks you. It means you keep going even after you're broken." I wrote in the margin, exactly right. Plus, I am 50, 3 years old, starting over in ways I never imagined. I wake up some mornings and still can't believe this is my life. But you know what? I'm okay. Actually, I'm more than okay. I'm free. For 30 years, I lived in a beautiful cage built on lies. Now I live in a small apartment built on truth. And I finally understand truth, no matter how painful, is always better than the most beautiful lie.